Hi, I'm Amy and welcome to my channel. Here we discuss spirituality and psychology so you can manifest your relationships. And in today's video, I'm going to be quite vulnerable because this is going back into my past as a fearful avoidant, and some of it I am really not proud of. But I wanted to make this video because if you are, or someone you know is, maybe it's an ex, maybe it's a person, I want to make this video so you're not personalizing this behavior and so that you've got some insight as well as to why this is happening. And just as a caveat, this is absolutely nothing to do with your self-worth. This is, if it is a person that you're interested in, this is definitely their stuff that they need to heal and sort out. But let's get into the video. So my former life as a fearful avoidant was super uncomfortable. And the main reason why is because I really craved love. I wasn't modeled love correctly in my childhood, and I had all of these limiting beliefs when it comes to love, that it was hard to get, that I would have to earn it, that it was selfish, or I had to really overgive in order to receive love. I would really crave love and connection, but also I was really terrified of it. And I was really terrified of it because to me, my subconscious comfort zone was intermittent reinforcement. So by that, I mean, 1 minute it was there and then it would go away. So I was never fully safe feeling loved. I was left on my own for long periods of time when I was younger. And it made me internalize that essentially love is not safe. So I would crave love because that is what I was missing from childhood. I would really crave love and connection. But anytime there was any kind of expectation or vulnerability, it would terrify me and I would push that person away. And what this often created was a push-pull dynamic. And this is why fearful avoidant relationships, or if you're in a relationship with somebody that's fearful avoidant, this is why you're going to have a really hard time letting this person go, because you're so used to the highs, because that person's really giving. When they first get into a relationship, fearful avoidants show up super well. They're present, they're giving. And the reason for this is because they have a belief that's driving this behavior, that I need to work hard for love. But even when the love does come, even when it's there on offer, they can't really accept it because it's too scary, it's too dangerous for them, so they'll push away. Which then, so you've got the high of this person wanting to meet your needs, this person's really present, and then you've got the low of, oh my God, I'm too scared, I'm going to push you away. And it can become really confusing for people on the receiving end of it. And I know when I was fearful avoidant, I did show up really well in the beginning of relationships. I could be present, I could be vulnerable, because I wasn't attached and the risk wasn't there. There was no risk of getting hurt at this point. So essentially, fearful avoidants are very easy to fall in love with because they are giving. They are super interested in you. They are present with you. And this is enough to make you sort of think, this person's really good for me. This person's secure. They're listening to me. They want to understand me. They want to know what makes me tick. And then when things get real, it's the push away. You might also notice, and this happened to me, that fearful avoidants tend to be quite volatile emotionally. And again, this isn't something to personalize. I'm not excusing the behavior, by the way, by any stretch of the imagination. But the driving force behind this is because fearful avoidants are, although they're very good at meeting another person's needs and intuiting what another person needs, they will meet that 100%. But what they're not very good at is advocating for their own needs. They're not very good at communicating what they might need, because essentially they don't feel like they're worthy of receiving it. They don't feel worthy enough to have their needs met easily, because they have this belief that I need to work hard to prove that I'm worthy of love. So what then happens is that they're giving. And because they don't ask for their needs met, they're not getting anything in return. And then they just sort of like, right, that's it. I'm done with this. I've done all of this to meet your needs and you're not meeting mine. So this relationship's over. And it can be easy as that. And with the fearful avoidant, you're much more likely to get like a door slam on the relationship. And they're very good at shutting off romantic feelings for somebody, which is exactly what I did. I would heal from a breakup or handled my divorce this way. of completely shutting off romantic feelings for that person so that I didn't have to deal with the pain. So the avoidant side of the fearful avoidant definitely came in, where I numbed my pain. I didn't want to process it. I didn't want to introspect on any of it. And I would just move on. So when it is that this happens, what I would definitely recommend is do not have contact with this person. They need to sit with what their actions were, and they will. And I know with dismissive avoidance, as we've discussed on this channel before, there is quite a long period of time before they can actually start to feel their feelings. Now, with fearful avoidance, it's not that long. It's probably within sort of a month to 6 weeks that they will start to reminisce about the relationship. They will start to miss the person. And at that point, then you might get that person reaching out to you. So to be on the receiving end of that is incredibly painful. And it is not your fault that somebody does not advocate for their needs. It is not your fault that you weren't told what that person needed in a relationship. That's that person's responsibility. And when you're in no contact for long enough, that's when the fearful avoidance anxious side of that attachment style comes up, because then their fear of abandonment is super triggered and they will start to reach out to rekindle the relationship. But unless there's healing, you are going to go through this cycle over and over and over again, because the fearful avoidance core wound is I am unworthy. And without work on that core belief and without work on the behaviors, as long as they have that belief that I'm not worthy, they're going to continue the behavior. And this isn't to say that fearful avoidants are bad people. They're certainly not. They're very in tune with their partners. They're very present with their partners. They really have the best intentions for the relationship to work, but they're not really in a position to receive love because they don't truly think that they're worthy of it. And what you'll also find in a relationship with fearful avoidant is something called covert contracts. And what a covert contract is that they will score keep. So let's say that, they were meeting your needs and they would keep totting this up. And the reason for this is really sad, because what I realized I was doing is I was meeting that person's needs as fully as I could, even if they hadn't asked me to. And I would sort of bank what I'd done so that I would feel worthy of having my need met. So I'd sort of think, well, I've done all this for this person, now I'm worthy of having a need met. And if it was that that person just wasn't available for that, I would feel super, super rejected and push away. So what would my advice be if you're in a relationship with a fearful avoidant, or you have a fearful avoidant ex that you want to rekindle a relationship with? The first thing is that you need to see that that person has acknowledged the behavior and that they're prepared to grow, or are in some sort of therapy where they're actually introspecting and also apologizing for their behavior. You want to see that they have acknowledged fully how you feel and are prepared to make reparations in the relationship, because without that, you're not going to be able to trust that person to move forward with them, and you deserve better. So I hope you found that video helpful. If you did, drop a comment below and I will see you next time.